This is Bet That. I'm Alex Glaze. As always, we're going to talk some ball and some gambling. We're not offering any advice. This is only for entertainment. Joining me this week is Martin Zinno of Sports Extra 106.3. We are going to start this week with a segment I'm going to call Perfect Ticket. We're going to try to put together a perfect ticket. This is not a parlay. That's a different game for a different day. Let's start with some college football. What is one of your best bets for college football this weekend?
Well, I am going to go with what I'm calling the John Michaels special, our good buddy John Michaels, because I am going with the U.
The U.
Getting 2.5 points, prime time, ABC, Saturday night schedule against Louisville in Kentucky. I mean, this is a game that, I guess Miami's been waiting for about a year and a half. Look, Miami hasn't been good in about 2 seasons since they were inside the top 10, right? But De'Ara King is the guy that's really making this whole thing go. After the quarterback carousel that they went around with for a couple of years, they finally get this kid, De'Ara King, transfers over from Houston. He only had 144 yards through the air last week against UAB, but he rushed for another 80 on the ground, had 2 total touchdowns. There are 2 things that are going to happen in college. 1 or 2 things are going to happen in college this week. You're going to see offenses really and teams start to progress and elevate after week 1. And then you're going to start to see teams stay stagnant and actually regress and kind of be who they are in week 2. And I think Miami is one of those teams that elevates. And this offense, which put up 31 last week, put up over 400 yards last week, this is an offense that really can get it going into another gear. And I fully expect De'Ara King to be the centerpiece of this game.
I'm with you on the pick. I like Miami getting the points as well. I like De'Ara King. Jaron Williams, I think, threw for 6 touchdowns against Louisville last year. I mean, granted, we obviously don't have a large sample size to pull from this year, so you got to go back to last year. So I like that. I like Miami and I like the points. My college football contribution to this ticket is going to be Georgia Tech. They're getting 7.5 points at home against UCF. Do I owe Tech? I don't know if I owe Tech an apology or not. I don't think I do. Here's what last week I said Tech is going to have to show me that they have an offense that can consistently put together drives and show some offense. I had to see it to believe it. That's what I said last week. And I know it was against Florida State, and Florida State's a bad team, but I like what I saw from Tech last week. They were able to put together those drives. Jeff Sims made those 2 freshman throws. But aside from that, I really liked what Tech was able to do offensively and defensively as well. I think they forced 3 turnovers. And again, this is a bad Florida State team. But that's a good win for Tech.
UCF, who hasn't played a game yet this year, anytime they play a Power 5 opponent, doesn't matter who it is a chance for them to make a statement that they belong playing with the big boys, and they will absolutely try to wax any Power 5 team. They will do everything they can to run it up. They will push the limits of everything to continue to go back to that, quote, national championship team they had a couple of years ago. UCF's quick strike ability on offense is a major concern here for Tech because they will try to slow it down. They will try to run the football. They will try to, keep the tempo of the game in their favor. The issue is if they don't convert on 3rd downs, and watch that stat, especially early on in the first half, if Georgia Tech is
money down
downs and moving the chains, UCF's quick strike ability, it could be a 3-and-out for Georgia Tech. UCF scores. It could be another first down, then another 3-and-out for Georgia Tech. UCF scores.
But that's the reason why I like Tech, because I believe that Tech will be able to put together those drives. I think UCF, they score early and often, and that's what they do. They are quick strike. They don't care about time of possession. I think Tech is going to be able to control the clock, and the best defense is a good offense in this game.
I think if Tech ends up covering, it's of the backdoor variety, and that half point really comes into play. They could be down by 14 and maybe a late touchdown.
And what better feeling than being on the right side of that backdoor?
Fantastic. But again, I just think UCF's quick strike ability kind of scares me off this game. You're talking about really contrasting styles and whichever tempo. Look, if this game goes under, Georgia Tech is going to cover.
Let's sprinkle a little NFL on this ticket now. So what's an NFL game you want to add to the perfect ticket?
I will go to the Sunday night matchup where the Seahawks are at home laying 4 points against Cam Newton and the New England Patriots. I'm going to swallow
fading Cam and Bill Belichick. Okay.
And I am going to take the Seattle Seahawks here minus the 4. Look, and what this really decided was for me more than anything is that Pete Carroll and the Seahawks have faced Cam Newton enough to know exactly what he's capable of in this matchup. And I think Jamal Adams is going to be a huge factor in this game. He's not going to have to sit up in the box like he does against other teams to stop a major running attack. He can play back. And then, boom, you're going to watch when Cam tries to take off. It's Jamal Adams' job to knock him out. And literally, that is going to be a matchup I'm going to enjoy watching. You're putting a big body on a big body, hat on a hat. and he's going to go after Cam. That really is the big X factor, because I don't think you need a spy with a guy like Jamal Adams in there. Plus, I mean, they also have Bobby Wagner, who's a really damn good linebacker. So I think this is really about the matchups more than anything. I know it's not the typical home field advantage that Seattle has, the 12th man and all that, but still, Patriots are flying cross country. They're going to the West Coast. Seattle is home after, a road game, and it just, to me, it sets up really well for Seattle.
I'm not sure about this game just yet, but the one thing I am sure about is that Bill Belichick and the Patriots are going to respect Russell Wilson a little bit more than the Falcons did in week 1. Did you see that, what Raheem Morris said about not respecting the Seahawks passing game enough?
It was one of the worst excuses I've ever heard. Like, I did this on my show. Like, let's play a little game here. I'm going to tell you a team, and tell me the first name you think of. So I say Kansas City Chiefs. You say
Pat Mahomes.
I say Ravens. You say
Lamar Jackson.
I say Packers. You say
Aaron Rodgers.
I say Seahawks. You say
Russell Wilson.
Duh. I mean, like, I don't understand how you could turn around and say there was somebody more important on that team to stop than Russell Wilson.
Chris Carson apparently was more important. And believe it or not, Zinno, you can stop Chris Carson while also trying to stop Russell Wilson. I don't think NFL defenses. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a coach. I don't know how that works, but my mind is telling me that you can stop two things at once. But I don't know. I'm not a coach. I don't know.
I know he was trying to cover.
I know. Look, he fell on the sword. He was falling on the sword. He was just falling on the sword. Yes. But the reason why I don't know about this game just yet is because I need to see how Cam's feeling going into the game. We didn't know what Cam we were going to get week 1. I wasn't sure about the Patriots week 1. And you know when my mind changed up, Zinno? When I saw that picture of Cam pregame in that canary yellow suit, I knew exactly what we were going to get from Cam Newton. I literally was sitting in the Falcons press box. I saw that pick, and I said, oh, Cam's back. Oh, okay, the Patriots are going to do this thing today. Okay, they're back. He's feeling good. He's 100%. He's healthy. That's what went through my mind when I saw that canary yellow suit, because you don't wear a canary yellow suit thinking you're going to walk in there and take an L. So I need to see how Cam is feeling pregame to let me know how he is feeling going into the game. Does that make sense? Is that
literally makes no sense whatsoever? But if that's your process and it works, I can't hate you for it.
I'm trying to say that because I like the Patriots and the points, but I need to see how Cam's feeling before I commit to that. Okay. I'm not ready to commit to it just yet, but
so if he comes in dressed like a peacock, you're taking the Patriots and the points.
100%. But if he comes in, looking like me, black hoodie, just like, hat, glasses on, I'm like, oh, he's.
The problem is you never really know when Cam is dressed down.
That's true,
because everybody else is dressing up.
Listen, I think a canary yellow suit is dressed up by anyone's standards here. My NFL game, I'm going to roll with the Ravens, laying 7 points against the Texans. And for me, this was an easy pick. We saw what the Texans looked like against the Chiefs. I mean, granted, that was literally the first NFL game of the year. They didn't look like they were ready to tackle. They couldn't keep up or stop the Chiefs. I think it was 31 unanswered. The Chiefs were able to score. And the Patriots, the Ravens are the same beast. That offense, I think the Ravens are a better team than the Chiefs, but we don't need to get into that this week. So I think that the Texans won't be able to keep up or stop Lamar Jackson and that offense.
I like the fact that it's 7, not 7.5, but I would even phrase it this way, Glaze. Forget for 1 second about the Ravens offense. Let's just say the Texans defense, which is talented, finds a way to slow down the Ravens offense. Explain to me how this Texans offense is going to score.
Oh, the Ravens have one of the best defenses in the league.
Like, Marlon Humphreys will blanket Will Fuller, right? Yeah. Brandon Cooks was nowhere to be found.
The Ravens have 3 number 1 corners. Like
David Johnson, I think
defense is unreal.
The way they contained Nick Chubb last week, I think they can do the same thing with David Johnson. I mean, I feel sorry for Deshaun Watson this week.
I feel like my picks this week, it's easy to me. Like, I'm not really thinking too much. Like, I'm like, which means that I'm going to be on the wrong side of all these. But Ravens minus 7. Yeah, I'll take it. All right, let's move on. Let's do another segment. We're going to call this Fade or Follow. I'm going to give out 2 picks. You let me know if you're going to fade or follow my picks. My first pick, Falcons-Cowboys. Total set at 52.5 right now. My pick for the game is over. And it's really simple. The Falcons struggle with mobile quarterbacks. They have for the past couple of years. Their defense, I think they're going to look better this week just because, honestly, they couldn't look worse. And I just think that this Falcons defense, I'm not sure how they stop the Cowboys offense. I mean, Dak Prescott, granted, he didn't look good week 1 against the Rams, but this isn't the Rams defense he's going to be going against. I think that Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, Zeke Elliott, I mean, they just have so many guys that are playmakers. I'm not sure that the Falcons will be able to stop that. So I think the Cowboys will be able to do their part in contributing to this over. And then on the offensive side of the ball, the Falcons, they can score. They have a very talented offense too. So I see this just being a really high-scoring game.
I would fade this based off a couple of things. One, I think it's going to be a very public bet. I think you'll see about 67.
52 and a half. 52 and a half. You still –
I think –
that's a huge number.
It's a big number, but remember, everybody who was on the 51 between the Rams and the Cowboys on Sunday night was on the wrong side of that. So I think, and it's a public bet to start taking the over on the Falcons games because they know they've been blowouts and the Falcons are playing catch up and scoring garbage time points. And again, remember the critical numbers when you're talking about over unders, 47 and 51. So, 51 is 31-17. It's 31-20. You talk about these critical numbers that you have to hit. And so from that standpoint, you're going to need 7 touchdowns and a field goal just to push to 52. That's a lot of scoring to do, and sometimes it's really tough. The Cowboys offense, obviously, against that defense wasn't really clicking, but I think, again, you'll see about almost 70% of the tickets on the over on this game, which kind of scares me off it a little bit.
The over has hit in 4 of the Falcons' last 5 games, worth noting that. So, all right, my second pick for Fade or Follow, I'm going Vikings, getting 3 points against the Colts. If you know anything about Phillip Rivers and what he does, he loves to play in close games. Phillip Rivers is going to be down 4 points with less than 2 minutes to go with the ball and driving, and I like my odds with that. I know the Vikings got absolutely tore up by Aaron Rodgers last week. These aren't good teams. These are just 2 teams, but I like the Vikings and the points because I think they're the better team. Marlon Mack is out for the Colts, so I'm not really sure what they're going to be able to do when it comes to running the ball. So if they have to become one-dimensional, I like the Vikings even more here, so I'm going to take the points.
I'm going to follow you on this one based off a couple of things. Look, I think the Vikings have a more talented defense than the Colts do. Man for man, you match up the players. I think they have a more talented defense here. And you're telling me that if this game was on a neutral side to be a pick 'em, I get the better quarterback. And I love Frank Reich as a coach. I love him to pieces, but I'm off the Phillip Rivers bandwagon. I was somebody who thought he was going to be a top 10 quarterback this year. I've never liked Phillip Rivers. I'd never want to bet on Phillip Rivers. I can't even.
Oh, you bet on Phillip Rivers week 1. That's why you're done.
I had the Colts in a knockout pool. Now,
so, there we go. There we go.
It's always personal, but don't trust Phillip Rivers. If you're giving me points with a team that likes to run the ball the way the Minnesota does, I'm going to take them every day. I'm following you all the way.
All right, Zinno, you ready to lock in? Let's wrap this show up. Let me get your lock for the weekend. Who you rolling with?
I am, and I hate betting overs, but I will take the over in the Tampa Bay Carolina game. Brady is better than what we saw in week 1. I mean, let's look at this objectively.
So you're not worried? You're not worried that he looked old week 1?
No, because I don't think he looked old. I don't think he looked old at all. He's a 43-year-old quarterback with a brand new offense, first time playing with all these guys. There's going to be some things to work out. But at the end of the day, this offense is way too talented not to put up points. And oh, by the way,
well, hold on, Chris Godwin in the concussion protocol.
Yeah, and Mike Evans a little banged up too. That was the other part of it. But they will begin to figure this thing out. Look, Carolina, actually surprised me with how steady they were on offense in the game against the Raiders. I believe that will continue. But this Carolina defense is Swiss cheese. Look, they drafted 7 guys in the draft, all on the defensive side of the ball for a reason. They are devoid of talent on that side of the ball. And I think Brady will have a chance to pick that apart. I think in the same respect that Tampa Bay secondary provides a lot of question marks still. They made 2 huge penalties last week that actually extended New Orleans drives and that gave them points. So I would think that they would go up. Joe Brady has no problem airing this thing out, who's the OC for Carolina, has no problem airing this thing out. I think this easily both teams get in the 30s again like they did last week, another 34-30 final. I'll take the over.
All right, you know how we do. Let's wrap this up with my Glaze Guarantee. 0-1 to start the season. It's really ugly. It's kind of deflating. I don't like that. I want to
start the season with a tie is better than starting the season with a loss.
Yeah, but I want to win. I don't want to tie. I don't want to lose, obviously, but I want to win. I don't want to tie. I mean, I'm trying to profit here. I'm trying to put out winners. I don't want to put out.
Your ego got tied. Okay, that's the issue.
Do you know me? I mean, yes, absolutely. So I'm going to go with a winner this week, a guaranteed winner. Chiefs -8.5 against the Chargers. And it's really this simple. The Chiefs are 10-0 against the spread in the last 10 games. There are very, very few teams that will be able to not only keep up but slow down the Chiefs' offense. The Chargers are not that team. I'm just going to – 8.5, that's a big number, but I don't think that the Chiefs are going to struggle with that. I don't see Tyrod Taylor and the Chargers being able to keep up with the Chiefs. And I think this is going to be a game where obviously they're missing Derwin James, but I think this is going to be a game where that really shows that Derwin James isn't out there. So I'm rolling with the Chiefs minus 8.5.
Yeah, listen, not many arguments until you see the Chiefs struggle. I'd ride the wave. There's no
next
reason
week. Next week is when you fade the Chiefs.
Oh, okay, against the Ravens. Yeah,
next week is when you fade the Chiefs. I'm calling that. I'm calling my early shot right now. Next week is when you do that. And
your ego may be insulted again when it's all said and done.
Well, we can have a little gentleman's bet on the side about that one if you.
Well, let's wait and see how this week goes. Let me see what we do here on this show, and then we'll worry about that.
All right. Well, Zinno, thanks for joining me. I really appreciate your time. Tell the people where they can find your work and where they can listen to you.
Every day on Extra 106.3 from 3 to 6 p.m. Make sure you download that Extra 106.3 app. Tap the app. It's free for Apple and Android. You can take me with you wherever you go every day from 3 to 6. Also on Twitter and Instagram at Mark Zinno, MarkZinno.
And you can follow me on social media as well. I'm on Twitter and Instagram. And subscribe to the 11 Alive YouTube channel. Obviously, the goal here is to have a lot of fun, but hopefully we're going to be doing a lot of winning this season as well. So you don't want to miss out on any of the action. Be sure to follow and subscribe so you don't miss out. Until next time.